The desperate community of Hammanskraal, listening to yet another promise of clean potable water, laying their frustrations bare, some took a swipe at the DA-led Tshwane mayor for the municipality's failures to resolve the water crisis.
So we're humbly requesting that the national and provincial government accord you observer status in the process of fixing the water crisis in Hammanskraal, because you have demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt, you and your administration and your deputy mayor and all your MMCs, that you are useless.
The emotionally charged community meeting comes almost a year after a cholera outbreak that claimed several lives in parts of Hammanskraal. Many are still left distraught, like this mother whose child almost died.
So I want to lodge a claim. I want them to refund me my money.
Before the community meeting, the delegation led by the Water and Sanitation Minister and Tshwane Mayor inspected upgrades at Rooiwal and expressed confidence that Hammanskraal will start having clean potable water in less than 6 months from now. The group also inspected upgrades at the Klipdrift Package Plant that will help to boost water supply in 3 phases. September will be the beginning, followed by additional supply in November this year.
The first drop of water from this package plant we will see it in September, and it's no longer an open-ended thing in September this year. But in the meantime, Tshwane is going to be running tankers.
The package plant, because the value of the package plant is it allows us to eliminate water tankers. And immediately when you say that, you realize the risk that this project faces from sabotage, from vested interests. And one of the things we're going to make sure we do is to cooperate as different spheres of government to secure the package plant, because people don't want water from tankers, they want water from the taps.
The minister has promised that by March next year, the water crisis in Hammanskraal will be fully resolved.
In terms of the quality of water, we are not definitely sure. We are not confident. It's just only they want to create a job that some of their friends, they must benefit from that.
It's very difficult for us to cope and focus without water, because most of the time we really need water to do some chores that we really need to do in the house.
So we are happy as the community of Hammanskraal, but we are also having an issue out from that the municipality of Tshwane, it's billing us the bills from Mandela village and so forth every month, then we are not drinking that water. So why are they billing us? So we are asking for the city of Tshwane to scrap those bills.
Until the promise of clean drinking water is realized, for now the people of Hammanskraal have to rely on water tankers that at times fail to meet their demands. Patricia Fasagi, SABC News in Hammanskraal.
Let's bring in some reaction now from Risimati Mathye, who's the Deputy Director General responsible for water and sanitation, who joins us for more. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. Some commitments being made. It appears as though the water crisis in Hammanskraal could soon be a thing of the past. But of course, it's just a promise at this present time. What can you say about the commitment that has been made ahead of the deadline?
Thank you, Mpo, for having us. I think the case is quite different now. I would want to just take a moment to say, last year when the minister and the mayor made a commitment to the community of Hammanskraal that there's going to be an alternative water supply for Hammanskraal in the form of the package plant. Then it was a promise, but I think what needs to be appreciated is that today there was also turning at the Klipdrift where the package plant will be constructed. It's going to add 50 more megaliters a day to the areas of Hammanskraal. This project is currently done by our water entity, our water board, which is Magalies Water, which is the implementing agent. Now, yes, the community of Hammanskraal has been frustrated, but I think the promise is becoming more of a reality now because we have managed to secure funds, and then the project is now on the ground with a view that the first module, which will give us at least 12.5 megaliters, will start supplying the community of Hammanskraal in September, and then the others will follow in November. Then the project should be complete by March next year. So if you look at it, one would say, yes, then there was no hope, but I think with the project on the ground, there's therefore a clear commitment and there are signs on the ground with evidence that the project will come to fruition.
With the project on the ground, talk to us about some of the steps and processes this project will take leading up to September.
So for now, there are a couple of work packages that entails the package plant. One, there have to be some civil works where we have to do some excavations, casting of concrete, building up of the overhead structure. This will happen currently while the module, because the package plant is prefabricated, is fabricated off-site. They will come and assemble it sometime in August, and then there will be commissioning and for it to function in September. But in the process of doing that, there's also other work packages where we still have to lay about a pipeline of about 1.3 kilometers to take the water from the package plant to the elevated reservoirs, and also to supply the command reservoirs in Hammanskraal through the Babelegi outline system. So that configuration has been done. So these are work packages that will be running between now and September in parallel. But we are confident that with the acceleration plan that we've put in place, we should be able to achieve the desired result.
It's almost 2 decades that Hammanskraal residents have had to endure drinking unsafe water, really having to buy bottled water and figure out other measures of getting clean, safe water to drink. It's a big promise, and we'll talk about the timing of this commitment because the elections are just around the corner. Perhaps let's talk about it now. Was this a decision that was made just before elections to sway votes, to win votes? Why now? Because it's been 2 decades. Surely this could have been done even a decade ago.
I think maybe we need to put the message across for the public to take note that while you are saying it is actually an old problem, the department has actually made the efforts in the past. Remember, the package plant, it is an alternative and an emergency supply to Hammanskraal. Originally, Hammanskraal was supplied by Temba Water Treatment Works, which was getting its supply of water, which flow from the Rooiwal wastewater treatment plant, which will go to the Apis River. That water needed to meet some standards for it to be treated by the Temba Water Treatment Plant. But because those compliances were not met, it meant that the people of Hammanskraal for years have actually had to suffer this challenge. But the department has been involved in the past to engage City of Tshwane. But of course, there was no appetite for City of Tshwane to work with the department until now that the Minister Mtunu, when he came into office, he made efforts as well. But at least for now, Mayor Brink was able to work with the minister so that at least there is that coordination. So one wouldn't basically justify this reaction based on elections because this was an action which was spearheaded in the past prior to the elections that are coming currently.
There's also the talk of the risk of sabotage that could come into play with this project. What measures are in place to ensure that it doesn't happen and that you are indeed able to give the residents of Hammanskraal a sense of dignity when they open their taps in September?
Yes, Mpho, you're right. The issue of safety has actually been cited quite clearly by the mayor, and we are also aware that there are some of those people who basically sabotage this project on the ground. But we are quite happy that these issues have been escalated. You will remember, Mpho, that the president has just set up the water task team, which is headed by the deputy president. Part of the actions there, which we are citing up, is that some of the security measures needs to be looked at, and this project and also areas of Hammanskraal are some of those areas that are in the spotlight to ensure that security is basically enhanced when this project are being implemented. Otherwise, this project might not come to completion.
And very lastly, let's talk about what will happen should this project not come to completion, because you've made a very big promise and the people of Hammanskraal are pinning their last hopes on your department. They have endured the most hardship when it comes to a basic human right.
I think what is different now is because, one, when the minister made commitments, we had to find the funding for it, so we can confirm that the complete funding for the package plant has already been set aside. It's available. Contractors are being appointed on the ground. There is evidence for that. Yes, there's been a delay in the implementation of the project because when we went out on tender through Magalies Water, we could not get the suitable contractor. Now, it's quite different when you speak of a promise, but when you speak with something that is currently on the ground, at least we've got evidence. What we can say is the department needs to be measured at least in the next couple of months to see if the project is not coming to fruition. But just to end it off, there is a technical steering committee that has been set by the minister, which we are overseeing this project, and part of which is that on a quarterly basis, we'll be able to take the minister to at least to report back to the stakeholders to measure the progress on the ground. This is the level of commitment that the department has put together with the minister to ensure the project does not get disturbed. It must come to fruition.
And how much money has been set aside for this project? How are you going to monitor that it does come to fruition without, allegations of corruption being factored in here and delays?
The issues of corruption, yes, you're right, have been highlighted before, but the department together with the Magalies Water are part of the procurement processes so that we are closer to how the money is spent. For now, the project for the package plant is roughly around 460 million. As I've said, it contains the construction of the package plant. We have to lay out some pipes. We have to clean and clear the lines. Some of the infrastructure in that area where we should be supplying through the Babelegi system, there are some leaks in the system that some of the funding should go to that to ensure that the system is actually much more robust and efficient to be able to supply water. So that's roughly more or less the budget that has been set aside for the project.
Very well. Let me thank you for your time, Risimati Mathye, who's the Deputy Director General responsible for water and sanitation in the department, speaking about promises, deadlines for September insofar as running water out of the taps in Hammanskraal. We will continue to bring you more news. Stay with us.